country is in danger, not just from foreign enemies, but above all from our own misguided policies. This war must be ended, and in my judgment, it can be ended. And it does not involve giving up, but it does involve not continuing to follow the bankrupt policy that we're following at the present time. Bobby Kennedy said that almost 40 years ago. Imagine the kind of America we could have had with a president like him. Instead, we've sunk to stolen elections, a George W. Bush presidency, an exhaustively complicit Democratic Party.
Yes.
What about a livable wage for America's workers? What about repealing the Patriot Act, the Secret Evidence Act, and the Military Tribunals Act? Why don't we know the truth about September 11th? George Bush lied on Americans, spied on Americans, and lied our country into war. While our soldiers and others suffer daily from depleted uranium, who will take nuclear power off the table? Why is impeachment off the table? The U.S. is now the world's greatest debtor. While our infrastructure crumbles, the U.S. tumbles down the world rankings for life expectancy. Of industrialized countries, we spend the least for and have the most children in poverty. Unarmed black men are murdered by rogue police officers. Latinos are harassed. Legitimate political activities of Muslims are shut down. And the plight of poor whites is all but forgotten. Somebody is trying very hard to divide us in this country.
Yes.
They figure if we're busy hating each other, we won't see the new generation of robber barons stealing our country blind. I reject whatever the plans are that they have for me and you. They want war funding, they get war funding. They want tax cuts, they get tax cuts. They put Blackwater mercenaries on the streets of New Orleans, where they remain even up to today. They don't want Katrina survivors to return in order to make way for $2 million apartments in downtown New Orleans. Honestly, I rejoiced when the Democrats took over Congress, even though the War Party made sure I wasn't there to vote against the war. But I have to admit that I'm saddened deeply by what my opposition party has become. When George Bush stole 2 presidential elections from them, they didn't even fight for themselves. And now they're defined by their failure to fight for us. That means that now, more than ever, we the people have to take our country back in the most fundamental way. We don't have to settle for injustice, environmental degradation, or more war. We refuse to be complicit in torture, war crimes, crimes against humanity, and crimes against the peace. Our children deserve a better country, and the world deserves a better partner. That's why I'm happy to see Cindy Sheehan run for Congress. I want Cindy to win. But not only Cindy, I want to see peace people all over this country run for office on a platform to stop the war machine now. We can do it, and we can win. I know that because we've witnessed people power take over governments in Cuba, Venezuela, Cote d'Ivoire, Brazil, Argentina, Spain, India, Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, and Nicaragua. And let us not forget the valiant people of Haiti, who twice had their elected president Aristide removed from office due to U.S. intrigue, but who demanded the integrity of their vote and of their democracy, so that the president today of Haiti is the valid choice of the Haitian people.
Right.
If they can do that, I know we can find another president willing to say what Dwight David Eisenhower said over 40 years ago. Every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fires signifies, in a final sense, a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, and those who are cold and are not clothed. The world in arms is not spending money alone. It is spending the sweat of its laborers, the genius of its scientists, and the hope of its children. I want peace, and I want it now. Thank you.